Welcome to episode 1 of the beginner series. Now in this episode I'm going to be talking about how to get on and off the bike in various different scenarios. It's something that sounds really obvious, but getting on the bike and getting started is actually something that you can do slightly different depending on the situation you're in. And I was talking to somebody I know recently who's just got into riding, and she was getting on the bike and off the bike in a really difficult kind of way. So in this video I'm just going to teach you the real basics of how to get on the bike and how to set off, and then how to get off the bike as well. So I hope you really enjoy the video. Hopefully you'll enjoy the rest of this beginner series as I bring out more episodes in future. If you do want to make sure you catch all of them, please make sure to subscribe. So first of all, let's have a look at the absolute basics of how to get on and start riding your bike, and then how to get off the bike, because there's a few mistakes I quite commonly see with this. So first of all, just for the real basics of getting on your bike, right, if your seat's up especially, rather than having the hassle of trying to swing your leg right over the top and really struggling to get over the bike, if you are going to do that, make sure your saddle's down and then you can more easily do it. But really, the most easy way to get on your bike is literally to pick the smallest part of the top tube, lean your bike slightly, and then just step over. So then you're in the right starting point, you're ready to go. Now you shouldn't be sat on your saddle. Another kind of beginner mistake that I regularly see is that the saddle's low and you stood, sat, and then you're trying to start riding the bike already sat on the saddle. Now that's quite difficult to do. What you want to do, as you can see me nearly falling over, what you want to do to start off, when you stood there, get your pedal so it's at the right part, you're at the right section, you're at 90 degrees, ready to go. The front foot's leading, so if I pedal, it's going to push the bike forwards. Look where you're going, pick a bit of a line, and then you're literally just going to put one pedal stroke in, start pedaling, and sit on the saddle. So you'll see me demonstrate that now. So you're looking up, one pedal stroke, sit on the saddle, and pedal off. So next up, I'm going to show you how to get off the bike. So one big mistake I see people making is trying to stop whilst they're sat on the saddle and then swinging the legs. So it goes one of two ways. Either they always have to have the saddle too low so that they can touch the ground whilst being on the saddle, or they can't touch the ground and they practically fall off the bike every time they come to a stop. So I'm going to show you both the right way and wrong way of stopping on the bike. So we'll start with the wrong way. So this is the wrong way. You're coming along and you're trying to stop and your feet can't touch the ground, and all you can do is lean off to the side and just hope you don't crash. But as you can see from what I was doing there, I was sat on the saddle, my feet were nowhere near the ground, so you just can't touch the ground. So the only way you can really do that well is if you drop the saddle first and then come to a stop, then that kind of works. But overall, that's kind of the wrong way. When you're stopping on the bike, you don't want to be sat down on the saddle in general. So as you can see in that clip there, the second one, I stopped there with the saddle down. Now that was miles easier. You can do that sat down and put your foot out. But there might be some situations where you don't have a dropper post, or your dropper post isn't down and it's up and you need to stop. So I'll talk you through how to do that in this next bit. So if you're stopping off the saddle, you want to make sure you stood up and then lean forward, get into that gap and put your foot down. So you'll see there, I was stood up off the saddle as I was coming into it, and then I got into that free space and just put my foot down by leaning the bike slightly. It was all really controlled, really easy, and there was no risk of me falling off. That, compared to the version where I was sat with my saddle tall and my feet were going all over the place, is a huge, huge difference. So this next bit, I'm going to talk to you about how you can start on a technical section of trail. So if you look at this bit of trail we've got here, there's a few rocks that are dotted about in front of you. Now a big mistake people make is that they sort of try and start with either the back wheel or the front wheel sat on the rock. So as soon as they pedal, they hit the rock and they come to a stop. So what you want to do on a section of trail like this is you want to line your bike up in a smooth bit where you've got at least 2 or 3 pedal strokes to get yourself going, and then you've got the momentum to get over the technical section. So if you find that you've stopped on a technical section of trail and you're trying to get going again, start yourself off on a smooth section, get going, and then you've got the momentum to carry on pedaling them. So I've talked to you about how to get on and off the bike in general on the flat. I've talked to you about how to start on technical sections of trail. Now I've got a really simple tip which when I started riding again a few years back massively helped me, and that's to start when you're on a bit of a hill and a bit of an incline. Now if you're on a steep climb, it can be really hard to start facing the hill. So a really simple tip that massively helps is just to start on a diagonal. So rather than facing up the hill, what you want to do is line yourself up so that you're on a bit of a diagonal, and then all you're going to do is do the first pedal stroke or two across the trail, and then you're going to cut in and ride upwards. So you start on a diagonal, pedal across, and then turn and ride up. Thanks so much for watching this video. Like I say, in the beginner series I'm going to be talking about things like this that to seasoned riders can be so obvious and never get talked about, but when you're just starting out it really pays to learn these core basic beginner tips and tricks. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If there's something specific that you'd like to find out about, just leave a comment and ask me for it, because that'll really help me and Ben, my videographer, come up with the best sort of videos and the best ideas for this beginner series. So I really hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to watch more MTB fitness videos, click on one of the 2 videos on the next screen and make sure you subscribe as well. Thanks.